Hi everyone, now we're gonna talk about good indie games that are both relatively underrated and underexposed. If you love these games, I made a playlist which I will link down below so we can expose these games and bring them to justice. Alright, let's dive into the list. Legend of Tianding is a 2D side-scrolling action game with a hint of the Metroidvania genre. The game follows the story of Liao Tianding, a legendary Taiwanese folk hero often likened to the Robin Hood of Taiwan. The game itself features beautifully hand-drawn visuals and art style, engaging storytelling, and fluid combat, which is where the game excels. The combat is fast-paced, with chaining moves and reflex-based gameplay that makes it incredibly satisfying. However, the platforming may sometimes be irritating, and the game can become quite repetitive towards the end. Nevertheless, it remains a great game. Brutal Orchestra is a turn-based roguelite game where you've died and been sent into purgatory, seeking revenge against those who killed you. The game features quite unique gameplay aspects in both its pseudo-exploration and the combat system itself. The game feels very much like a mix of the deck-building gameplay of Slay the Spire and the fleshy, meaty, infernal rooms of The Binding of Isaac. NPC and world interactions feel fun and alive. Also, as suggested by the title, the music is fantastic with a lot of variety. Please go check the game out, it's very good. Moonring is a classic and retro-inspired turn-based strategy RPG that is surprisingly free to play. Considering the amount of content and depth the game offers, it's remarkable that it's available for free. Moonring not only uses retro RPGs as a thematic base, but also captures the essence of early RPGs while incorporating modern conveniences. The game mechanics have significant depth. For example, the advancement system requires you to take quests from each god instead of just defeating enemies. While there's still much to discuss, play this game if you love classic RPGs and roguelikes. I don't know how to spell out the game title, but what I know is the game is an amazing 2D precision platformer game. The gameplay itself is fast-paced, challenging even on the normal difficulty, and the graphics, while it's a pixel art, it's gorgeous to look at. While the game may be hard for newcomers to the genre, it will get you addicted because how smooth the gameplay and control is. It motivates us to get perfect run and repeating the stages. While I say the game is challenging, the difficulty is well adjusted, so instead of being a frustrating game, it becomes fun and addictive instead. Loki is a story-rich adventure game steeped in Norse mythology. The gameplay is straightforward, offering different areas to explore where you can collect items and interact with various NPCs. While the game features numerous puzzles, they are challenging yet not excessively difficult to solve. As a narrative-driven game, the story stands out as the game's strongest aspect. It dives into dark themes, offering a tale of love and loss. You go on a journey to find your lost brother and learn the truth about your mother's death. If you're seeking a casual yet engaging game, Loki is the perfect choice. No Time is a time-traveling sandbox adventure game, reminiscent of Back to the Future with its presentation, including the iconic DeLorean car. While the graphics may be off-putting for some, the gameplay is unique, smooth, and easy to understand. Players can travel to different eras or years according to their selection, even encountering their past selves or the traces left by them. The attention to detail the game offers is quite amazing, wouldn't you agree? Additionally, the game's campaign provides an interesting story with several twists. It's definitely one of the most unique and underrated games out there. Meg's Monster is a story-driven JRPG-style game. Players control Roy, who starts the game with almost 100k HP and is virtually untouchable, but the real concern is keeping Meg safe because if she starts crying, the world literally ends. While it features turn-based combat, the gameplay itself doesn't offer much depth. The game focuses on the story, and could even be stretched to be considered visual novels with combat. However, for those seeking a story-driven experience, the game offers it brilliantly. Terminus Zombie Survivors is a turn-based roguelike zombie survival game where you aim to reach the safe zone to escape and survive. While it may remind us of Project Zomboid, I personally prefer this game because it's easier to get into despite being a different genre. While the game still has a considerable number of mechanics, it doesn't overwhelm us too much and remains enjoyable to learn. There are also character professions and perks we can tinker with, each offering a unique playstyle. The gameplay is amazing for those looking for a zombie survival theme. Boomerang X is an FPS game with incredibly satisfying combat, a fluid movement system, and addictive overall gameplay. The game's overall duration is rather short, but because of how fun it is, you can repeat your runs often. In this game, your primary weapon is a bladed boomerang that can be thrown at enemies and used as a grappling hook in the same turn. Due to the fast pace of the game, there are slow-motion mechanics called flux. The art style itself is unique, and I think it fits the game perfectly. Kill the Crows is a simple top-down shooter game set in a twisted Western world. The game offers fast-paced and tight combat, where a single bullet will kill both your enemies and yourself. In short, it's a one-shot, one-kill scenario. The core gameplay loop is very simple and satisfying, with good progression. The overall feel and presentation of the shooter elements, such as the sound and the kill effects, are solid. It's the type of game to kill time because of how simple yet fun it is. Worldless offers a unique take on the Metroidvania genre. It features dynamic, fast-paced, and precise turn-based combat. Yes, it may seem like an oxymoron, but the gameplay itself is one of the major elements of the game, with a heavy emphasis on timing both offensively and defensively. It's quite challenging but in a satisfying manner. The art style of the game is abstract yet beautiful. The movement, animation, and the zones themselves are well done. The only caveat here is perhaps how the game delivers the story. You may finish the game without having a clue what happened, but nonetheless, it's a criminally underrated game.
As we gear up for another bloody installment of everyone's favorite reality survival.
If you're considering an unusual reality show, Showgunners delivers. It's a turn-based combat game with heavily armed psychopaths and environments full of traps. It draws inspiration from XCOM but offers a tactical RPG experience that's easier to get into for most people who aren't strategy enthusiasts. The gameplay is quite fast-paced, so it doesn't take much time to strategize, and the combat itself feels satisfying with its impact and violence. The cyberpunk aesthetics and overall atmosphere are pleasing, and you even have an announcer during gameplay, giving you those Running Man vibes. As you can see, Hylics 2 is a surreal RPG with a unique and abstract graphical style, and even the music contributes to the weird and hypnotizing atmosphere. The story follows the first game as Wayne, who is tasked with assembling an elite team of claymation warriors to put a stop to the resurrection of Gibby, the evil antagonist. The battle system feels like puzzles because each enemy has very unique actions and challenges, which makes it engaging. Additionally, the game incorporates platforming elements, although they can sometimes be annoying due to the game's graphical style. Overall, the game is solid if you're looking for an unusual RPG. Timelie is a stealth puzzle adventure where you control time like a media player. You can use the mechanic to see the future and navigate from point A to B, along with your mysterious cat companion. The time mechanics add significant depth and are the game's strongest aspect. The time manipulation mechanic feels like using a simple media player within the game, allowing the player to watch past and future events to understand the solution for each puzzle. The puzzle difficulty itself is just right. Instead of using undo actions, you can simply rewind to find the solution. Please consider the game if you love puzzles.
The Anomaly, codename Jupiter Hell.
Jupiter Hell is a turn-based combat-focused shooter using the traditional roguelike formula inspired by classics such as Doom. The game is well designed and the difficulty is challenging. It demonstrates that it is adopting a classic roguelike approach, which will appeal to a lot of purists. You will make meaningful decisions that the game will expect you to make the best options to take. The way the game flows and how the gameplay loop works guarantee precise decision-making expected of you to win a run. It might be challenging, but in the end, you will feel immense satisfaction.